the investment that's going to take to bring that here, and you look at the current condition of the city, take the money and invest it into the downtown area, establishing districts. Because why would you establish a high-speed rail here that's only going to take people away from here? You might as well buy them a plane ticket, help them out, because that's all that high-speed rail is going to do. No one is coming to Niagara Falls, but they are leaving just by the numbers.
Thank you. Ken Douglas?
Yeah, if you say good or bad, right? It all depends on. If we had to negotiate a contract, it's bad. If the contract is already negotiated and is engraved in stone, then we'll accept it. But what we have to do, if we have it and is engraved in stone, we have to develop the area around it so we can entice the people to get off at Niagara Falls. Okay, but if it's not engraved in stone, no, it's bad. Because like Carlos said, they're just going to go right by us. They have no reason to stop here in Niagara Falls.
Ken Deister.
Well, Niagara Falls is the reason to stop here in Niagara Falls. People get here, the more people are going to come. And it's not about the population here somehow filling the trains. We're blessed to be on the line between New York City and Toronto, two of the largest metropolitan areas in North America. The other fantastic thing about this project, even if no train ever ran in the station, it's mostly money that we're getting from the state and federal governments that's building the station, and that's bringing jobs to people in our community right now, right? There are people working on it. And we haven't even got the biggest part of the station yet, right?
Ken Ricardo.
I think it's a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. If you look at if you look at Hyde Park Boulevard and Lockport Road, I mean, what's there? That train station has been there now for how many years? Do you think that some of that would have been built up around there?
Different things.
Different things is correct. But you know what? Nobody's coming here by train. And if we ever get high-speed rail in here in the next 25 years, you know, maybe it might work. But right now, the airport is the key.
Thank you. Kenneth Douglas, in-rem auctions, good or bad? In-rem auctions.
Bad. I think they're bad because I don't believe that we should be auctioning off our residents' homes in this economic situation. We should need to come up with a plan. Plus, that in-rem auctions, they're open for outsiders, and that's the reason why we got the condition now. We got absentee landlords that don't care about Niagara Falls. They're just investing in it, and just the property's just sitting there deteriorating.
Kenneth Deister.
Bad that we ever have to confiscate somebody's home for taxes, but that's one of the reasons why you can't give it to somebody else and tell them they don't have to pay taxes. Why didn't you tell the last person who was living there they didn't have to pay their taxes? Maybe they could have stayed in the house, right? It's not our job to transfer wealth from one citizen to another. Vacant houses are a problem, but flipped houses that go from one absentee landlord to another are probably just as bad a problem. That's why we instituted landlord registration legislation and fought for land bank legislation at the state level during my administration. Always a bad thing if somebody's home gets taken from them for taxes. Ultimately, that's an issue of jobs and economic development.
Bad idea, but part of reality, I guess, in the city. I hate to see any home go to foreclosure, but that's part of the reality that we live in today. I'd like to see those homes given to young families who want to rehabilitate them and put them back on the tax rolls. The city does make a fair bit of money off those in-rem auctions, so you know, but in the long run, it's a bad idea.
Well, I think it should be used as a last resort. I mean, the way the system, the way it's being used now, it recycles the same problems dealing with housing here. And we need to get off of this kick that Niagara Falls is so great because the falls is here. I've seen every inch of that falls. That falls don't create jobs here. So let's get off of this kick because we're so proud that Niagara Falls is here. Let's develop a city. That's what we're here to do, and that's what your leaders are responsible for doing. Developing the city. Don't cop out and take a plea because the Niagara Falls and the cataracts are here. Yeah, ooh. There's more to the city than just the falls, and this is why there's such poverty here.
Candidate Dyster.
I already talked about this.
I lost my train of thought. No. Privatizing some city services, good or bad idea?
Generally speaking, I think it's a bad idea. I don't think we should be competing against private businesses for things that private businesses do better. Some people like to say government should run like a business. Well, I am a business owner. The purpose of a business is to make a profit. It's not the purpose of government to make a profit. It's the purpose of government to deliver the best possible services at the lowest possible cost. Right? And I think, as often as not, we're capable of delivering the best possible services at the lowest possible cost by doing it in-house.
Thank you. Candidate Cardo.
Bad idea. I don't think, I see a service that should be privatized in the city of Niagara Falls.
I think it just depends. It depends on what that service is, and it depends on how it's going to benefit the city. If it's going to alleviate some of the pressures on the budget, why not do it? It just makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of think the same thing. You know, we're shooting from the cuff here, from the side. We need to look at that particular service and see if that service benefits the residents of Niagara Falls. If it doesn't, it benefits us to source it out to a private company that houses itself in Niagara Falls, that is putting residents to work.
Great, thank you. Last question, and then we'll give each candidate a couple minutes to finish up. Candidate Cardo, Underground Railroad Interpretive Center now under construction, good or bad idea?
I think it's a good idea. I really do. But I'm just hoping that with all the money that's being spent on it, that it's done right and it's really an attraction. It's not just something that that people are going to not take the time to look at. But I think the Black heritage is important here, and I think if it's done right, I think that it can be a real tourist attraction here in the city of Niagara Falls. Thank you.
I am only for that Underground Railroad Museum if the economical impact that it's going to have on the people on the north end. That is the lives of those individuals that's being replicated and duplicated and told in those stories. And if they can't benefit from it, because there is going to be an economic impact as people go and visit that center, there's going to be money generated. If it doesn't benefit the people who those stories are being told, and it doesn't benefit the north end, I'm against it.
I'm all for the Underground Railroad. Anytime we can show the heritage of our history, of our people here, we should do that. That's it.
I think this is a great idea. It's a part of our history that doesn't receive enough attention, either from us as residents in terms of our self-image, or from the rest of the world who come here as visitors. It's not like it's going to generate millions of new visitors, but there are going to be people that are going to want to come here to hear that very, very American story. Not just a story about African-American people, but a story, and what's really unique about the Underground Railroad, African-American people, white people working together for a common cause that's important to the world. And one of the positive things, we're restoring the Civil War era building down there, but we're also doing it largely with earmarked casino revenues and not with tax dollars.
Now, we're going to move into the closing statements, and then we'll take a quick break and bring up the City Council candidates. I appreciate all of your patience here so far. It's challenging with 4 candidates. It'll be even challenging with 5 for City Council. We'll do all rapid fire with them. I'm going to randomly draw a name, and then we'll just continue to go to left. That seems to be easiest. And so we'll begin with closing statements with candidate Dyster. 90 seconds if we could, if that's okay.
Okay. It's been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your mayor for the last 4 years. I promise you that if you re-elect me, I will try to do my best to stay on the positive course that we've been through the last 4 years. There are a lot of great projects I started that I want to be there to finish for you, including our high-speed rail station at the north end, the Culinary Institute downtown, Lewiston Road and Buffalo Avenue and other paving projects, the Moran Pack project where we just broke ground today, All of these are projects that I got started that I would like to see through to their logical conclusion. Please bear with me. I know that you're impatient to see change go even faster in the city of Niagara Falls. But one thing I can tell you, so am I. That's why I picked the fast forward button for my campaign logo. Don't turn around and go backwards. Don't go sideways. Don't get frozen in place. Let's keep moving in a positive direction to create a better Niagara Falls for our kids and grandkids. Thank you very much.
Candidate Accardo.
I'm not sure how many candidates' debates I have participated in over the years. Usually they're pretty boring, and usually they're pretty dry. But I gotta tell you tonight, it was very entertaining. I walked all over the city this past summer. I started in June 6th, and I'm still walking now. And I've heard the frustrations of many of the residents that I've knocked on the doors, and I've knocked on hundreds of them. Most of those residents, the common theme from those residents is a sense of frustration with City Hall, a sense of frustration with city government. But another common theme, in the end is, usually the common sense, can cure all of our problems here. Well, I can tell you that I've been a common sense person all of my life, and I plan on being a common sense mayor in January of 2011. Thank you very much.
I'm going to start by doing something a little different. I'm pretty sure we all read Allegory of the Cave by Plato, and in the introduction of that, there's prisoners chained to a wall. And there's a big fire behind them. And as animals and objects and people walk by, it casts a huge shadow on the wall that they're behind them, that they can see. And they believe that they're monsters. And there's these great beings and creatures. And one of the prisoners happens to break free. And he sneaks out and goes out towards the light. And he discovers that these are not monsters, these are not aliens, these are just people. And he goes back to try to explain to them, say, hey, those are not monsters. Those are not aliens. They're just normal people and objects and animals walking by a fire. They did not believe them. I'm sitting here today telling you that if Dicer gets reelected, that this city is going to implode. If John Cardo gets elected, this city is going to implode. Whether you vote for me or you don't, you are going to get the government that you deserve. We, the registered voters of this city, deserve a government that we can invest in. If there was a candidate on this panel right now that can do a job and provide the leadership that I'm talking about, I would be campaigning for them. It's just that obvious. Thank you.
Look, I'm not a politician. I'm a concerned resident just like you are. I was in my kitchen listening to my kids because I was concerned about the condition of the city, just like some of you are. I'm out here, I put myself out here because some of you wouldn't. Somebody has to step up to the plate. Yes, I care about you because I'm that kind of person. I care about your kids because I'm that kind of person. I'm going to bring honesty, integrity to that office of mayor. You better believe that I will fight for you. I will never lie to you. I will always tell you the truth. And that's what we need there. One day, the little girl right there is going to be up here, doing the same thing, I hope. I'm no Superman. I'm one of you. I'm concerned about you. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to get any money or anything like that, get a pat on the back. Because when we rebuild Niagara Falls, we rebuild Niagara Falls. And that's why I'm running. For you. Thank you.
All right, stretch your legs 5 minutes, we'll get set up.
Right, we need some